All the social media bros out there, everyone has been saying Xbox is dead. But what if it's actually about to become the most powerful gaming platform ever made? I have said we're at the dawn of the golden age of gaming. I think we're at the beginning of the Xbox domination generation. And we just got proof today that I'm correct. That's right, I'm correct. Microsoft's next Xbox isn't just another console. It's a full Windows PC gaming power in your living room, your entire Xbox library built in, and no multiplayer paywall. That doesn't sound like the death of Xbox, does it? That's the evolution of it. So in today's video, let's unpack what Microsoft's actually building, what Jez Corden at Windows Central just revealed, and why the old Xbox is doomed, Xbox is dead narrative completely misses the point. They don't get it, they're not gonna get it, and they're wrong. Let's jump into this. I've been saying it forever. I've been saying it ever. We're at the beginning of the Xbox domination generation, and that looks like it's going to be true here. This is an article over at Windows Central. I'm going to link to this article below. A lot of people commenting on this next generation of Xbox and say it's basically a PC. I'm out. I think I'm out. You've not read the article. Go read the article. And if you're not going to read I'll link it in the description below. It's an excellent article. Shout out to Jez Corden. He did a fantastic job here. Very, very interesting. A lot of interesting tidbits, some interesting analysis, and the like. I'll summarize it here for you as well. But as always, if you want to be the most informed you can be, watch my video and then go read it in detail. So you've got all perspectives and you can read full here what was reported on. Basically, the next generation of Xbox is a curated Windows PC. Now, that's where the curated comes from Sarah Bond. Remember, she gave an interview last week, and one of the interesting things she said is it's a curated experience. But what does that mean? That means that it's going to run full Windows under the hood, that you'll be able to exit to a desktop anytime. You'll be able to install anything from Steam, Epic, Battle.net, Riot. Hell, since it's a Windows based system, you'll even be able to run productivity apps like Excel and the like. But it's curated because you'll be able to be inside your console and never leave if you don't want to. You'll get all your OG Xbox games. You'll get Xbox 360 games. You'll get Xbox One games. You'll get all your Series X and S games. Why? Because Microsoft is working with AMD's next generation silicon. The next gen silicon there, it's being developed alongside Microsoft, and it's enabling them to go backwards, go console, go PC, and use everything on your device. That's mind-blowing. That's awesome. That's super cool. This is, Jez Corden says in this article, this is a big risk, big reward, premium experience. Is it a risk? Yes, but it has potential to pay off huge. That's what we've been saying here on this. You can see the vision. You can see what's happening. I've said this entire time. The ROG Xbox Ally X is the beta for what we're going to see. The UI is the beta for what we're going to see going forward. Jez Corden in this article confirms that that's exactly why Xbox decided not to do their own first-party handheld, but instead push this out sooner so that they could learn how, where the weak points are in this, and how to improve it going forward. This is basically a test platform for the Windows Xbox experience. That's what Jez Corden calls it, the Windows Xbox experience here that's coming. It's basically the Xbox full screen experience. I think it's really exciting. You can see it. It's going to force if this is successful, Microsoft has to prove this can work for sure, but you can see how they're thinking of this, and I think it's huge. I think it's very consumer friendly. In fact, we have people like Colin Moriarty over on Twitter. In fact, I bookmarked his tweet here. Let's actually go and find, if I go to bookmarks, where did I, there it is. Someone like Colin Moriarty. Now, he has not been a fan of Xbox moves here, and he doesn't believe that this will be a commercial success at all. But he says, it's no doubt a consumer-friendly move. He says, will it work? Who knows? But it's no doubt a consumer-friendly move. It absolutely is. And I think all along, Game Pass, even with the price increase at $30, this is what everybody that tries to hammer me on Game Pass is still the best deal in gaming, guys. It's still the most consumer-friendly thing that you have in gaming. Xbox Play Anywhere is the most consumer-friendly thing you have in gaming. For everybody yelling like, oh, Microsoft is just trying to rip us off. No, everything is the most consumer-friendly in gaming right now. They're the ones pushing that forward. Breaking down these walled gardens is indeed doing that, to the point that even a Colin Moriarty is saying, I don't know if this is going to work, but this is super consumer-friendly. Guys, it's time to get excited about the next generation of Xbox. It's time to stop apologizing to the social media bros. It's time to stop thinking, well, they're moving away from someone like me, and it's just basically becoming a PC, and I've got to rethink my whole Xbox career here. No, the next generation of Xbox is going to be an Xbox. It's just an Xbox with more options. You're still going to be able to play all of your console games, from the Series X, the Xbox One, the Xbox 360, the OG Xbox, all future Xbox games. If you want the premium console experience, it's still going to be yours. But also, you're going to be able to press a button and switch over to Steam or Epic or Battle.net and use everything there. You'll have the ease of access of console with the options of PC if you want to use them. How are options a bad thing? I don't get it. Anyone arguing that? There will be no multiplayer paywall here, which is really interesting. You are going to be able to play PlayStation PC ports as a result of this via Steam or Epic Games. And ultimately, like I said, the Asus ROG Ally and Ally X are test platforms for the Windows Xbox experience here. Now, the expected release date for this console is around 2027, and ultimately Xbox is positioning themselves as the premium experience. Jez Corden makes the argument that it's going to be more expensive than PlayStation, but given their deal with AMD, them not having to pay Windows licensing fees or anything like that, their ability to subsidize this product, that it's not going to be as high as people think. So it's going to be cheaper than the equivalent PC version, but more expensive than the PlayStation. That is if PlayStation continues with what we've heard on the rumors, going for something less powerful, but cheaper, and Xbox going from this. I think this is big. I think this is huge news. I think this is really exciting, and not just because this confirms everything that I've been saying, and by the way, it does. Again, you're ahead of the ball game if you watch this channel, everybody. You just are. Microsoft is essentially merging console simplicity here with full PC options and openness, something no platform has ever pulled off at this scale, which is why in this article, Jez Corden says it's high risk, high reward here. If they're able to pull this off, it's game over. Can they pull it off? That's the question. Even Colin Moriarty says, yeah, can they pull this off? This is definitely consumer friendly, but can they pull this off? For sure. I do want to go down here and just highlight this part in the article for those of you that are concerned, like, well, wait a minute. And this is kind of fake news that has been going around. Wait a minute. What about me? I'm not a PC gamer or a console gamer. I don't want to be a PC gamer. I don't want to deal with the complications there. I'm rethinking my whole thing here. Here is what the next generation Xbox experience looks like. So, first of all, the Xbox full screen experience will allow you to exit if you want to and run competing stores like Steam, Epic, Microsoft's own Battle.net, the Riot client, anything else you want. He says you could run Adobe or Microsoft Office on the next Xbox if you so choose. Well, I don't want that. I don't want a PC. I want a console. Well, here it is a console. It's a console for you guys. Here's what's coming. Where the Xbox console will differ from a traditional Windows PC is that it will feel like a traditional Xbox console out of the box. The onboarding experience will be similar to what you get today on console, and if you choose, you can remain fully inside the Xbox ecosystem, never touching Windows itself. Never touching it itself. Exiting out to Windows will only be for those who want to get access to games traditionally not available on Xbox, including PlayStation games on Steam, mouse and keyboard first games like League of Legends, or even classic games from GOG and the like. You'll be able to run PlayStation PC titles like God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, and Spider-Man. You'll be able to play World of Warcraft on the next Xbox. You'll be able to install practically any game that runs on Windows, giving you access to decades upon decades of content all on a single device. Well, that's just the PC. PC with the console simplicity experience. That's the key here, is that you'll be able to choose. And I just want to be in the console mode. Well, wait a minute. Am I not missing out on that? Because console games can't run on a PC, and PC can't run a console. That's one of the big issues that we're having right now with Game Pass for PC, for instance, or Xbox Play Anywhere, or the ROG Xbox Ally, for instance. There's certain games that are console that I have that are not yet available on the PC. Well, the new chip that Microsoft is or that AMD is developing in partnership with Microsoft changes all of that. You're going to get a console experience right here. Thanks to the new silicon from AMD, already approved all the way up to CFO Amy Hood and the CEO, the new Xbox will also run all games currently available on the Xbox Series X and S library. This means all the OG Xbox backward compatible games, all the Xbox 360 backward compatible games, all the Xbox One backward compatible games, and all the current and future Xbox Series X and S games. These games will run natively on the new Xbox and launch seamlessly with the Xbox Launcher's library. The new chip is game-changing. When they talk about the biggest generation, technological leap in a generation, I think this is what they're referring to. Never before have you been able to merge PC games and console games like this. Never before have you been able to play them on the same device. It's because of this chip that you're able to do that. It's because of this partnership with AMD that you're going to be able to do that. So for everybody that is out there, and if you're watching fake news, if you're on social media, listening to the social media bros, they're all saying, oh, well, it's just a PC. Da, 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 da. No, they've not read the article. They don't understand it. It's a console, everybody. Think about it this way. It's a console. You get the console experience. You get all your console games playable there, but also you can jump out and download any PC game you want onto it natively. It runs natively all the console games. It runs natively all the PC games that you want. That's mind-blowing. That's why people like Colin Moriarty, who are not fans of Xbox by any stretch of the imagination, are saying, I don't know if this will work, but wow, this is consumer-friendly. It absolutely is. So to everybody who was saying that Xbox is dead, again, this is not new necessarily. What is new is the details that we're getting here on what exactly, how they're thinking about it. But the overall strategy, this is in line with the strategy that we've known about here for a while. Ultimately, it sounds like Microsoft is merging console simplicity with full PC openness, mods, and the whole shot. This is something that no gaming platform has ever pulled off before at this scale, and that's why it's risky. But also, you can see the strategy here. You can see what Xbox is thinking. If we can pull this off, it's game over, we win. It's that simple. You combine that with Game Pass, you combine that with the price of games and the convenience of Game Pass, and this is absolutely huge. I have a question for you guys. Would you actually use that Windows freedom, or would you just stay inside the Xbox dashboard? If you have the next generation of Xbox, are you using just the console? Are you staying in there? Let me know in the comments below. Or are you someone who would use both? Let me know. I personally think most console players are probably going to stick to the console UI at first, but I think the longer this goes out, I think, for instance, let's say year one, most console players stick to the console option. But I would say year 2, year 3, as we go along there, a lot of people are breaking out into exploring the PC part of the console there and downloading PC games and downloading games from other libraries. And it's ultimately, in my opinion, that option that makes this future-proof, that future-proofs the entire platform. What is interesting, again, is they decided, Jez Corden confirms here exactly what Sarah Bond said, but adds a little bit more information there, that the Asus ROG Ally, Xbox Ally, and Ally X is the beta. These are the test platforms for the next generation console. They want to see all the pain points, what's working, what's not working. That's why they went that. What's interesting is they are still going to, Jez Corden says they are still going to be making their own first-party handheld. Wild. I did not think that they needed to. Now that I'm in on this, it is interesting that they are. So for everybody, even on the handheld side, that is like, no, they're done with hardware. Well, they're making their own first-party hardware now. We know that. And they're also making now this next generation console. Things are changing forever. This changes the whole console landscape. If this is true, if this works, this changes gaming forever. I think that again, it becomes a platform war. It's not a console war. We've already been in that for a while. I also think if Xbox can pull this off, Xbox wins. It's that simple. Everybody. So let's go and address some of the Xbox's dead crowd. So we had some interesting takes. So for instance, here's Paul Tassi. Paul Tassi about a week ago said Xbox is dead within 5 years. And here's what he said today. He said, this actually sounds very good, potentially. Interesting. I responded by saying, I retweeted this. Well, I screenshotted it actually. And I said, and people ask me, why do you screenshot these? Why don't you retweet them? Because I've retweeted people before and they delete their original tweet. So I don't do that anymore. And then it just shows up like, this post is no longer available. And you're like, what the freak, dude? So suddenly Xbox doesn't sound so dead, huh? The old guard isn't about insight, it's about emotion, agenda, and clicks. They talk out of both sides of their mouths because that's what performs. I believe the future belongs to creators who are authentic, consistent, and trusted. Guess what? I'm authentic, I'm consistent, and I hope you trust me. If not, go watch someone else. Like that's it. And I think that shift is happening, and we're seeing it here. We didn't overreact here. We've seen the vision all along, and some of you are like, well, that's because you're an Xbox fanboy. No, I see the strategy. I get it. I agree with it, actually. Doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It doesn't mean also that I won't be wrong in the future, and it doesn't even mean that this is going to work. But it does mean that you can see the strategy. Let's go down. So we've got a lot of comments. Oh, by the way, here's that. Yeah, Xbox won't exist in 5 years. October 23rd, he posted that. So there it is, right there. You can see. So you're going to see a lot of people are backtracking today. But now it's shifted. The goalposts have shifted. And you get the Xbox is dead because it's just a PC. So here's the Crap Gamer. He's responding to my tweet here, and we're gonna crap all over Crap Gamer because it's just so easy. He makes it so easy. Much love to everyone. I think that sometimes people, when they oppose something, they become so angry and are searching for validation that they can't see anything outside of what validates their own opinion. And I think that's what we have here. Here's what he says. It's a PC. Factually making the Xbox dead is a console. First of all, he clearly didn't read the article. It's not. Just go read the article. It also couldn't be subsidized. So $1,000 on the low side. Why couldn't it be subsidized? If it's first party hardware, it absolutely could be subsidized. Numerous questions to ask, like why would devs support native Xbox games? Because they're one and the same now. That's what this new chip does. If you're making a game on Windows, you're making a game on Xbox. That's the reality. How long will Microsoft support such a niche product? Are you forced to play with cheaters on PC? The cheaters on PC comment gets me every time. Dude, sorry, are there no cheaters on console? Oh yeah, but they're just more readily available on PC. Okay, bro. Like, any PC gamer is looking at you right now with that comment and being like, you can't hang. You can't hang. What do you... You're the dude that can't get through the tutorial on Cuphead? Is that what you're saying? Let's take one of these one at a time. Let's start with it's just, what is it? It's just a PC. This absolutely is a false equivalence, and clearly he's not read the article. The form is changing, but not the brand. Just because you add the ability to play PC games and console games, it's still a console. It absolutely is a console. I would reverse it actually and say it's a console that'll let you play PC games. And the fact is that Xbox exists because of DirectX anyways. It's always been a Windows-based console. This doesn't change that. What does change is this new technology that's enabling you to fire up both. Microsoft ultimately is just uniting its two strongest platforms instead of keeping them separate. So you're uniting Windows gaming and you're uniting Xbox, making them one. Think iPod, right? So let's go to Apple as the example. You had an iPod, it was separate than the iPhone. Eventually, Apple said, well, why keep them separate? Let's merge them and make them better. That's evolution. That's not death. The iPod didn't die. I mean, I guess the iPod died, but you didn't lose what made the iPod great, which was access to tons and tons of music. It just evolved and made it better, made it more functional. The fact is here, again, I don't think he read the thing. Players who want to plug and play simplicity still get it. Nothing changes for them. Period. You want the console experience? You still get the console experience. It can't be subsidized, he says. First of all, how do you know? Like, how do you know? Microsoft has 20 plus years of hardware subsidizing experience. Game Pass, cloud services, and digital sales offset hardware margins. Economies of scale are huge. Jez Corden talks about economy of scales there, and Windows licensing savings will help lower the cost. Their deal with AMD and buying the chips in bulk is going to lower that cost, and that's why you're going to get that premium price tag, but still cheaper than building the equivalent of a gaming PC. The same thing happened when the Series X came out, when the PlayStation 5 came out. Because of how the way the hardware is built at scale, you're able to get what you could build for the equivalent cheaper than you would if you were to go out and build your own PC. It's the most affordable. It's going to be the most affordable high-end Windows gaming PC you'll ever buy. That's just the reality. That's what they're shooting for. Now, if they can't pull it off, then that sucks. But they're totally going to be able to pull it off. To say that they can't subsidize it, I mean, I think is ignorant of just how the hardware space works altogether. Next up, he says, why would devs support Xbox games here? I'm using this as an example because these are all the arguments that are basically made on social media at the moment. He summarizes them all in one. So why would devs support native Xbox games? Because Xbox equals Windows, dude. In this new model, it's the same development environment. It's the same APIs. You get smart delivery, you get play anywhere, you unify console and PC builds. That's why devs will work on it. And think about this. Jez Corden talks about this in the Windows article again. Again, proof positive he didn't actually read it. Xbox, Microsoft only takes a 12% revenue cut on its PC store. Steam takes 30%. So why wouldn't devs? It's going to force Steam to lower that cost for sure. Publishers get access to both console and PC markets with one code base. That's what's coming in the future. It's more efficient. It's more profitable. It's a no-brainer. That's the reality there. Ultimately, I think we're always going to have these social media bros. Unfortunately, it's just the reality of what we live in 2025. I think the strategy here, though, and why I think we've been able to maintain a pretty solid footing throughout all of this is we've seen the strategy. Microsoft is turning Xbox into an operating system that's bigger than just the box, the plastic box that it comes in. It's a system that allows seamless play across console, handheld, and PC. One library, one identity. This is Xbox. It builds on, what has Xbox been out? 1999? 2000? So 25 years, let's say 25 years. It builds on 25 years of Xbox, and remember what's funny is Xbox One was like, we want Windows in your living room vision. We want entertainment. That's exactly what's coming to pass here. Now, it could fail like Xbox One failed, no doubt. But I don't think so. This feels correct. In my opinion, this makes Xbox inescapable, not irrelevant. Like there's no better place if they can nail it. If they can nail it, this is huge. Like Jez Corden said, is it risky? Yes. But it's the kind of risk that if it pays off, changes the entire industry. It just does. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people think, no, that's not possible. I don't like the change. And it is what it is, guys. It's coming. It's coming whether you like it or not. Whether it succeeds is the question here. And you can see the strategy though, and I'm all for it. Again, the most consumer move that a gaming company can make. It's going to force everybody else to make that next move, especially if they're able to do this. I think the Xbox's crowd, or the Xbox is dead crowd, thrives on emotion and outrage. I don't think they thrive on insight. I think that's why you get them flipping all over the place. The old media model, the old gaming media model, it's not going to work here. And this is the future, in my opinion. Would love to know what you guys think, though. Where am I right? Where am I wrong? Is Xbox evolving or is it dying? Let me know in the comments below. And would you buy a console that gives you access to everything, even PlayStation games? And this is why I don't get the take. Well, I think I'm moving to PlayStation. Yeah, PlayStation is going to be cheaper. I think I'll move there. Okay, you can only play PlayStation games on a PlayStation, at least as of now. What? Or you could buy an Xbox that plays all the Xbox games, has that console experience, but also lets you play PlayStation games. But you're going to move to PlayStation? Like, that doesn't make sense. And it's because, in fairness, I don't think Xbox has done a good job of explaining this. This is just the first start of this leak. I'm sure we'll see this ramp up over time. And last question, maybe you're a person that thinks consoles should stay closed. Do you think consoles should stay closed? Or do you think this openness, this breaking down of the walled gardens is the future of gaming? I think that's the future of gaming, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below. Again, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to this channel. My name is S1 the Gamer. We cover videos like this all the time on this channel. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.